Hey, welcome to the Ugly Studio again. It's another adventure with polycarbonation. Today's show we're going to feature the music of Public Service Broadcasting, a band that delves into history with a beat, essentially. And let's dive into the episode right now. Just what is Public Service Broadcasting? A TV programming organization? A series of how-to podcasts? A cool phrase to intrigue and confuse your friends? It could also be a unique group of modern music makers. Well, they're not technically broadcasters since they have no transmitter, and they are a profit-making organization, so not really a public service for tax purposes. They make music that entertains while being connected to historic events. The music magazine Prog called them an electronic group, but that's not really true most of the time. Let's go back about 12 years to the beginning. Back to the London-based group's two founding members we know as J. Wilgoose Esquire, researcher, main songwriter, and multi-instrumentalist, and Wrigglesworth, the man who propels the group with drums and percussion. The title of their first album, Inform, Educate, Entertain, was not meant to be taken too literally. Jay Wilgoose explained in an interview for the radio magazine show Morning Edition that it began as a tongue-in-cheek motto, teaching the lessons of the past with the music of the future.
It started off as a kind of tongue-in-cheek thing where we claim to be teaching the lessons of the past with new music. I think we have kind of come to take that a little bit more seriously.
That first CD included music based on sound clips mostly obtained from the British Film Institute's archive. Topics included the Postal Service in the 1930s, early color television, and even an old American driver education film designed to put a scare into teenage motorists.
Sins. Here on a state route, whether by speed or other causes, the driver loses control of his car. The vehicle rolls over, throwing the driver out.
Come on, I'll give you a real ride.
Now it's 8 o'clock. Jerry is a little bit late tonight.
Later projects, arriving on extended play discs, included The War Room. This one featured audio from the propaganda documentary London Can Take It, about the Nazi bombing raids during the Second World War. The same EP had a rousing song inspired by the 1942 war drama about the building of the famous British fighter aeroplane, the Spitfire, that became a concert and dance club favorite.
It isn't exactly a bird I'm creating, is it? At least it's a curious sort of bird. A bird that breathes fire and spits out death and destruction.
Lots of live shows raised the band's UK profile, although success in America has been limited. U.S. performances included a BBC gig in Texas and an appearance on NPR's Tiny Desk Concerts. 2015 saw the release of the full-length The Race for Space. The CD's cardboard jacket featured artwork showing a Soviet Sputnik satellite on one side, then you flip it over and you saw the Apollo lunar lander on the other. It was a giant leap of a concept album, get it? Putting music to historical milestones like the first walk in space, the first mission with a female cosmonaut, and Apollo 11's moon flight. PSB expanded their following with the thrilling Apollo 11 moon landing saga song, Go, using historic recordings from NASA's Houston Space Center. Public Service Broadcasting were asked to perform at the BBC's Biggest Weekend music festival in 2012. The location was to be the Titanic Slipways, where Titanic and her sister ships were built in Belfast, Northern Ireland. Jay Wilgoose decided to write some original music for the occasion, released as the EP White Star Liner. Among its 4 tracks was CQD, named after the distress signals sent by Titanic in the early days of wireless radio. Well, never mind that music listening in the 2010s was trending towards single songs, the band seemed to find its greatest inspiration in concept albums. The next one would be centered around coal mining. Jay Wilgoose was reluctant to wear a journalist hat and stick a reporter's nose into the lives of working-class Welshmen and their families as he began work on the next recording project. Could getting the details of the rise and decline of British coal be as hard as breaking stone underground? Well, the reality was that many who had worked in the coal mining industry were open-hearted and willing to tell their stories. The finished album was Every Valley, and it featured archival audio, interviews, orchestration, and original songs with lyrics. Every Valley made it to the UK Top 10 album chart in 2017. During a day off from a European tour, Jay attended a retrospective art film exhibition in Berlin. Inspiration hit, and he moved to the city for much of 2019 and 2020. The music that came out of this experience appears on the Bright Magic album. Although Berlin is famous for its dark history in the early 20th century, Bright Magic focuses on the positive energy of the old city, its music, its art, the Bauhaus Design School, personalities like Marlene Dietrich and Fritz Lang, along with its 21st century identity. One good concept should be followed by another, according to the band's mindset. Many of the recent recordings that were focused on history had men as their subjects. So, Jay Wilgoose, Wrigglesworth, and visual technician Mr. B decided to make some PSB history by researching one of the world's most famous women. In the early days of the airplane, Amelia Earhart gained fame by pushing the possibilities of air travel. Her long-distance flights and down-to-earth persona won her space in newspapers, magazines, and on newsreels all over the world, which of course is where her record-setting travel took her. On what was to be her final flight before retiring to life as a researcher, the Lockheed Electra, piloted by Amelia and her navigator Fred Newman, disappeared en route to a Pacific island. So the world was shaken as this did become the final flight, and that's the title of Public Service Broadcasting's 2024 album. There was very little audio of the famous aviatrix, so the band decided to use actors to read the words of Amelia and her husband, George Palmer Putnam.
I wish you were here. You'd enjoy so much of it. Well, see, it's enough. Then we can take a trip together.
There are also lyrics once again, and some orchestration. The album's jacket design is also one of their best, featuring photos, newspaper clippings, and maps showing the route of the around-the-world flight. And you fans of physical media will be pleased to note that Final Flight is available on CD, LP, a Zoetrope animated picture disc, and a music cassette. For more eclectic music that rocks, catch the Electrical Radio program, commercial-free, Fridays and Saturdays from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific Time. Finding us is as easy as 1, 2, 3. We're at 22westmedia.com. Don't forget to click the drop-down link for FM HD3, electrical-radio.com, and on Facebook.